Welcome back to the Jackpot Joint of Jerusalem. So we have a few church announcements today. Um, we're asking for prayer for Sister Janet and her husband, Brother John, because apparently Sister Janet sent Brother John up to the Aldi to go and buy tomatoes, but he didn't feel like going so far, which is half a mile away from the Safeway, I believe, and he paid over $7 for these tomatoes. Now, Sister Janet she is distraught because she even paid extra when we had the class for Brother John to take an extra class so he can know what to do when she sends him to the grocery store. Anyway, so we're gonna keep him lifted up in prayer, and Sister Janet as well. And then regarding this weekend thing in DC, the so-called Army 250th birthday celebration, aka birthday celebration for the fat man in the White House. I'm calling all sisters from all congregations to come out and pray for rain and thunderstorms this weekend in DC. If he wants to waste our money, let it be wasted in that way, because we know that man not going to go out in the streets with his, if it rains and his hair has to get wet, because all that hair plugs and stuff that he has, I don't even want to talk about this because that's not a Christian thing to do, but I am just saying. So please pray for rain this weekend and make, whichever God you pray to, just ask for lots and lots of rain in DC this weekend. And then this Speaker of the House, Johnson. He's a funny little guy because you never find him when you need him. He's never there when certain people do stuff that is unconstitutional. But the minute something foolish comes up, then he will stick out his head. But the interesting thing is that he said the other day is that if this continues to happen, if the Democrats win into the midterms, Trump can kiss his presidency goodbye. I wonder where he gets his analysis from, because that sounds about right to me. And then with all the back and forth going on in California, with there are 700 Marines from sitting out there. Apparently they're paying 134 million for them just to sit and twiddle their thumbs. Okay, that makes absolutely no sense. It is just, this fat man just wants to intimidate people. And then he has Whiskey Pete, who I don't think I've ever seen him sober. He's running around threatening people. Him and they're gonna arrest Gavin Newsom and this and this. And Gavin Newsom rightly called him out, and said, "Come and get me." And I agree with Gavin Newsom. All the arresting government officials, and it's all Democratic government officials. The judge out in I think it was in Wisconsin or wherever, the Congress people on the East Coast. These are all Democratic lawmakers. Yet we have somebody like Lauren Boebert that cannot count 2 and 2. She's the one that's famous for sitting, for her mouth work in a movie theater. And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, or like I like to call her MTG, that signed a bill that she did not read. Okay. Then you have somebody like Tommy Tuberville, Mr. whatever. He is as dumb as a rock, and he should have stayed in football. These people are just useless baggage. Those people, they should arrest those people and replace them with people that will serve the American public. Because Lauren Boebert and MTG, their main job is to run interference for the fat man in the White House. You know, Tommy Tuberville did the same thing when he was holding up nominations. So that's their only job, is to sabotage the work of Congress. So they don't need to be there. And people still talking about what happened on J6 with the pipe bomb. And many people believed it was MTG, but I mean it's probably not so. But lock her up for that and see where she go, what happens after that, But anyway, then we have, when they closed USAID, the Office of USAID, there's about there's hundreds, millions of dollars of HIV medications and contraceptives that is sitting in a warehouse that will be destroyed by the Trump administration. Now, I thought Doge was going to get rid of the waste. That is waste. That is waste. Okay. We also have. We are thinking of changing our name. Some of the sisters and the elders in the church feels that the jackpot joint doesn't sound too right. It feels like we're just gambling. I said, well, we do gamble. I mean, we go to the casino every other week if we can. When we get our Social Security, we're gone and out. And we come back, we spend whatever little we have left over we can afford, we spend at the casino because it's what we enjoy. But we're going to think about it. Maybe we'll change it to Jazzy Joint of Jerusalem, but we're still going to drink Hennessy and gin. Those are our two drinks of choice. And we're going to call on the pastor next time to come and say a word, if I can get hold of him, because he's always out in the street. Only God knows what he's doing. But anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys again. Have a good day.